3. We could just add in a little parentheses here. And we could say, do this part first, and then multiply it by 3. That will give us a different number, will not be 56. And that's very useful right there. See, 132 is the result of doing that. Alrighty. So now that we know about the operator precedence and how to do simple arithmetic operations, we're going to go over an operator that a lot of people are not familiar with and that is very tricky, which is the modulo operator, or for short, the mod operator. Let's change this back to an int 3. We'll just set it equal to 0 for now. The mod operator is the percent symbol, which is shift 5 on your keyboard. And the percent symbol, or the modulo operator, is very odd in the sense that this is what it does. I'll tell you what it does. It divides two numbers and then stores the remainder. Yes, that sounds odd. So say we're doing int 3 is equal to 7 mod 5. It will do 7 divided by 5. If you remember your long division, 5 goes into 7 one time with a remainder of 2. Okay, so 7 mod 5 will store that remainder, which should be 2, into int 3. Okay, so this should give us the value of 2. So the modulus operator divides the two numbers and stores the remainder. Now you might be asking, what the heck is that useful for? Well, one example of how that is useful is to check, for a even number, if you take a number and mod it by 2, if the remainder is 0, we know it's an even number. And that's just one example. And the modulus operator actually has a lot of really good functions, and it'll be very useful to learn. Okay? Now let's go over something called a compound assignment operator, which is very useful also. Let's say we want to do something like, let's do this. Int 1 is equal to int 1 plus int 2. Right? So we want to take int 1 and then add int 2 onto it and store it back into int 1. Okay? Now we can't just do this because the 7 will overwrite the 5. The 7 here will overwrite the 5 here. So we want to take this number and add it onto this number and store it back into int 1. Well, this would look something like this. Okay, where you see we have int 1 over here and int 1 over here. That looks kind of odd, but what this will do is it'll take that 5 that's stored in there, add the 7 right here, which will give us 12, and it will store it back into int 1. Okay, now look, this looks odd, and this happens so often in programming that there's actually an operator that does this for you, and these are called the compound assignment operators. So say we want to add int 2 and store it back into int 1, it'll look like this. A plus equals int 2. And this should give us 12. When we print it out, it should give us 12. And there we go, 12. Now the other compound operators, the compound assignment operators, would be minus equals. So this should give us negative 2, because it'll take 5 minus 7, store it back into int 1. This should be negative 2. There we go, negative 2. And you can do this with any of the arithmetic operators, except the parentheses, obviously. So we could do a times equals, a division equals, it will look like that, or a modulo equals, it will look like that. And that's it. That's all about arithmetic operators that we should go over right now. So this is Shmoopy909, and thanks for listening.